the new rule that the IRL utilizes that lets cars that are at the tail end of the lead lap come around to the back end before the drop of the green flag just benefited Sarah Fisher, Vince Welch.
One driver looking to improve his ride is Buddy Lazier. We've got a crash. Let's go upstairs.
A big crash. Terrible crash. Out of turn number 4, and here on the main straightaway, it involves many, many cars. I can see as many as 7 or 8 cars involved in this accident.
Yeah, there were obviously a lot of fire on at least one of them up against the outside wall, but once that the crash happened up front, everybody else on the binders trying to miss it, and several cars became involved very rapidly.
Yeah, this is what happens when you can run that many cars that quickly together. Unfortunately, incidents like this do happen sometimes. We just hope everybody's all right.
We will wait to give you a report on exactly who is involved. Well, there is the number 6 car driven by John Herb. He obviously is okay.
He's down in the infield portion of the racetrack, so he's in pretty good shape.
There's Sarah Fisher. That's a tough break for her.
You see
Hopefully
Robbie
her car isn't too damaged. Maybe she can get back into the pits.
Look at all the debris they're having to weave through.
There is Buell. He is out of his car. Looks like he may be limping just a little bit. There's Casey Mears.
And even though he's out, it looks like he's in a little bit of pain as he climbs out of that race car.
He's walking okay, we hope.
Boy, this was just a terrible looking crash because there initially was so much fire, which burned itself out quickly. But
that's Jared Schrader right there.
Yep.
And those guys did not need a crash. That team is kind of running on a low budget anyway, and a crash like this, and you can see it looks like several guys limping a little bit. There's Robbie Buell, that obviously his right leg is hurt a little bit.
You're right, Larry. We never like to see crashes like this. Unfortunately, we're seeing most of the drivers walk away, but it couldn't happen at a worse time because practice for the Indy 500 does open a week from tomorrow, and some of these teams are operating on shoestring budgets and really didn't need it at that time. Now, let's see what happened.
Two cars just got together. They were too wide. Looked like 2 cars got together. Couldn't tell whether it was...
That's Buell hitting the wall right there very hard.
And it looked like Mears got together with somebody there and started that. Everybody else kind of in the back trying to run through the debris and just running into each other.
That's Corey Witherill there in the middle of things, too. All right, let's talk to Robbie Buell.
Well, the first thing Robbie Buell did was talk to Eddie Cheever and give him his version of the accident. Robbie, first of all, how badly hurt are you?
I'm okay. Just my right side's bruised up. Our car's hurt bad, which is too bad going into May. But there's a group of cars in front of us. It looked like somebody checked up. I don't know who it was. Just checked up a little bit. Then somebody got loose or they got together. I think there was like 4 cars in front of us with me having momentum. And then, you know, you see a little hole, you point for it, but it closed up and took us into the wall. So it's too bad because we've had a long weekend with Dry and Rumble. Team Purex, but the car was a good race car, which stinks.
Well, they need to take you to the care center and check you out. Bob?
Sarah Fisher is out of the car, and she appears to be okay. We have this accident from her onboard camera that we want to show you. Let's ride along and listen.
You can see she's well behind this thing. She has a good chance to miss it, but there's a lot of debris up there. And I think that's what really got to her. She ran over a lot of debris, and that's what really messed her up. That bent some of the suspension pieces just running over the debris from the other part of the crash.
Wow, there was so much debris on the track. But, you know, the reason they do that, as I'm sure you can back up, Larry, is to dissipate the energy from the crash. They have these parts fly off the cars very easily to dissipate that impact.
Well, it certainly helps the drivers because it does absorb a lot of that energy when they hit the wall. But it certainly makes it difficult on the drivers behind trying to miss all that stuff.
Wow. Here it is from another angle. Just a tremendous amount of fire there initially.
Yeah, that's Corey Witherill right there who gets nailed a couple of times in that bright orange car.
And it looks like that Dr. Jack Miller might have been involved in the accident also.
Yeah, there's that car that's coming farthest down the racetrack. Doesn't look like there's many wheels left on that one.
And here we go again. Now that's Corey Witherill. That green car.
He's on the outside. It looks like the red car comes down a little bit. The car, those two cars came together when the red car came down, and I can't. That looks like Giafone, who came down a little bit. The car behind him had to check up, and when he did, he made contact with the car on the inside of him, which I believe was Casey Mears.
Dr. Jack Miller was involved in the incident, and we're waiting for a report on him. We understand that he was put into the ambulance, and we'll await a further update on his condition. But we have seen and in fact talked to a couple of drivers who appear to be okay, so we really got out of this maybe a lot better than we thought we were going to. Back in a moment at Atlanta.